This video, we're going to be talking about this thing called the before and after grid. Now, what is the before and after grid? One of the things we're going to be talking about is your customers before meeting you or buying your product, and the result generated and their state after buying your product. Now, this distance over here is the value, and the further this distance is, the more you can charge for your product, your program, or your service. Think about this. A doctor, a surgeon. What is the before after? It's dead, not dead, right? If it's to do with a terminal illness. So in other words, the value for that is huge. Therefore, that's why surgery or doctors for major illnesses would charge a lot of money for it, and they probably should be charging more for it in some instances. So one of the things I want you to start thinking about is that value that you are delivering to your customers. Why? Because at the end of the day, money is really just a result. Money is just a byproduct of adding value or providing value to your customers. So one of the things I'd like you to think about this before and after grid is this. Number one, it allows you to determine what is someone's before state. Are they sad? Are they depressed? Are they non-productive? Are they not generating as much income as they would like to? And what is that someone's after state? Are they now more confident? Are they more happy? Are they more productive? What is that before and after? Because if you're able to distinguish this, you'll be able to identify what your product does to actually serve them. So there's 4 ways to really determine your target market's before and after stage, and it comes to these 4 things. Let me begin with the first one. Number 1 would be the have. Now, why is this have so important? This is what they will have when they actually buy your product. Now, most marketers, this is the only thing they talk about, which is the physical aspect of it, which is the have. For example, if I'm selling these pointers, these clickers, the have would be, I would be able to get this 5-button clicker that's able to go forward, go backwards. It has got a LED light and it's able to blank the screen. Now that is the have. The mistake that most marketers make is that this, the have, is all they talk about, which is you'll be able to come for my 5-day program. You'll be able to have this shipped to your home, right? Now, this is at the most basic level. This is at the surface level. If you want to get really good at this, you need to get deeper and think about this number 2, which is the feel. How does this change the way they feel? Are they more happier? Are they more confident? Are they more outgoing? Do they look at life differently? Which brings us to number 3. How will your product, program, or service change their average day? Does it create a lifestyle of freedom? Does it give them more convenience? And finally, think about whether your product changes their status, the way they're looked at by their peers, by the industry, by their competitors, by their parents, by their siblings, by society. How does it change a person's self-worth, right? And that is the status. Now, I understand that not all products will be able to do this. So let's take, for example, a pen, right? You could use a Montblanc, which is about $1,000, or you could use a cheap 50-cent pen, right? Now, the only reason, even though they do the same things, is because of this section right here, status. Now, of course, if you're selling fork and spoons, chances are it will be hard to reach this level, but I want you to be able to be aware that this level exists. And these are the 4 levels that exist when it comes to understanding your clients and your prospects. So what does this mean? It means that for this section, this doing, and here's the thing I want to talk about doing. Right now, at this section, chances are you have watched a couple of videos from me, and I know that there's some of you out there right now who's just watching the videos thinking to yourself, you know what, I just want to get to the good stuff and I'm just going to watch these videos without really doing. You are making one of the biggest mistakes many people make out there, which is just hoarding information without taking any real action. So please don't make the mistake. By now, you're a couple of videos in now. I want to celebrate you and acknowledge you for doing that. But I also realize that there's many of you, or some of you rather, who's just learning without doing, right? So please don't make that mistake. We've spent a lot of time and resources preparing this. So what you need to do right now is to download this sheet and fill in the before-after grid and talk about how your product, program, or services affect their have, their feel, their average day, and their status. Why? Because this is all messaging. We're going to be taking this to use to craft all of your later products and programs and services right after this. So go ahead, do this, and then I'll see you in the next video.